What's going on, guys? It's Parker. We're back here today at Sun Gold Tattoo and Barber. We got Mike in the chair, and we're going to be doing a beard trim for him today. We're just starting out, combing through, seeing what we're working with. As usual, kind of keeping an eye out for things that I already expect after a little bit of a growth and length here, which is probably these back corners tend to get a little heavy. Lots of bulk through here. These edges tend to fall into the ear. So I'm just kind of seeing what we're working with. Always combing through the beard first. You don't ever want to start through and start shaping a beard that hasn't been brushed through. Especially nowadays with the mask mandates and all that, it leaves quite a crease. So, all right, step one. I'm going to set in my edges here, get all this stuff from off the ear. I'm going to go up a little bit here. Right there, that's good. And with these sideburns here, you can always comb it down into the lines. And what that does is kind of automatically fades it into the sideburn, and then I come in like this and hit a little clipper over comb. Just kind of get that out of the way a little bit. All right, so I got that back line edged up here. Now I'm gonna do a little quick fade for you guys. So for you barbers out there, I noticed a lot of people going in with the clippers and coming this way, which kind of always leaves the line. So if you come down, I always start open on the clipper, come down and just flick out. You kind of get that natural fade. Shorten up your lever a little bit. Hit that top line. And just as you would in any other fade, you can keep messing with that lever to get the proper blend. All right, so what we just talked about was kind of bringing down the width of the mustache. So I'm going to come down with the guard, just taking off, kind of layering from the top of the lip down to the bottom of the lip, get rid of all these stragglers here. So I'm using about a 1.5, but I'm being real light. I'm not pushing it all the way into the hairline. I'm kind of floating the blade right now. I can come in with the trimmer. Using the comb to kind of grab the hair. And a little trick, what I do is I kind of apply pressure here to the top lip line, and that kind of lets me get in this corner here a little bit better. Now that I kind of slimmed out the mustache a little bit, you can see all this is real long and kind of hanging over, so I'm just going to blend that in a little bit. I usually pull my section right there at the lip line and just kind of take off the ones that are extremely longer than the others. That way it lays a little bit nicer. All right, so me and Mike discussed he wants to take about 1 inch off of his beard. Now, when it comes to beard length, and you've got his head tilted back on this headrest here, just like it works on the head, you have certain areas are going to be over-directed. So the length that comes from the chin is going to come down to a certain point, and a lot of this, what's underneath, is going to sit lower because that's the lowest part of the neck there. So when I'm setting in 1 inch, realistically, I'm probably only taking off maybe 1/2 of an inch from the front. And then when I finally shape this back area in to meet that front length, it's going to end up being about 1 inch. So you got to be a little bit more soft on the approach here. So I'm going to start with about 1/2 inch. Just really kind of getting rid of the stragglers, the transparency from the breakage that happens over time. Now I'm going in with my clippers. Some people use scissors. It's really just preference. I use both. I'm going in with the clippers now, and then after I brush it out, I'll hit this bottom perimeter all with the shears to kind of clean all that up. It's also important to discuss with your client what sort of shape he wants, whether they want it real square with an angle down here or if they want it more round. My preference is more of a round shape than a real square shape. So as you can see, after I set in this line and I set in this line, I've got this back angle here. So I'm just going to take that and round that off. Kind of pulling tension and seeing if there's any ones that are going to come out much longer. I kind of already expect that these ones that are underneath the neckline are going to be a little bit longer. So what I did with the clipper, right, the clipper and the scissors work differently. I'll come in with the clipper and make this cut here, but I'm always going to have a little bit here. So that's when I would come in with my shears and clean up this bottom line there. So I just want to make sure that, you know, this hair that maybe got stuck underneath the cape here and all that is all brushed out, combed out, so I'm not missing any length. Same thing. So this is kind of what I was talking about before. I set in my length at the front, and there's always going to be this longer hair under here. So between the two, you end up with about 1 inch off the beard. You can always take more off, but you can't put it back on. What I like to do is do a half towel. He's already got it all pretty straightened out, so I don't want to mess with it too much. So I'm going to do a half towel through here to the neck. And we'll just hold it on there for about 30 seconds. So when setting this line in, I'm not really trying to take off his length from the beard. I'm just trying to clean up the neck where it kind of connects to the chest hair, just to give it some structure. Now it's time for the blow dry. That C shape is a little bit more natural. I think like the super sharp cheek lines were kind of like a 90s thing, or 90s or early 2000s, having like real angled, sharp lines. And then also, when it comes to like height of the cheek lines, I try to keep it as natural as possible. I think that one of the most annoying things when especially when you have a big beard, is like the maintenance that comes along with it. So if you can keep the maintenance to a minimum by keeping the cheek line nice and high, you know, you're not going to have all this regrowth kind of causing a two-tone distraction.
Everyone's like young and it's all poppy. Yeah.
It's a good-looking beard, my friend.